After seeing a few surprising winners start off the year in 2021, win early, we finally had a normal winner get a victory here in 2021. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about the race here for the Cup Series at Phoenix National Speedway, the IndyCar 500, the fifth race in the NASCAR Cup Series season. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. To start off, there's a couple big storylines coming into this event. You had the trash compound that was on the racetrack, the juice on the racetrack. They did not apply it last night, but they matted it down on the ground, so the trash compound was going to be a major thing in this race. And then there were quite a few storylines coming in this event as well, with a lot of drivers going to the rear, including the 300 cars of William Byron, Kyle Larson, and Chase Elliott for unapproved adjustments, and Kyle Larson and William Byron for failing inspection twice. These guys would have to drive their way up to the front. Kyle Larson was supposed to start on the front row. William Byron and Chase are supposed to start in the top 10. They will have to drive their way back up to the front in this race. So let's go ahead and talk about the beginning of this race. The race would drop, and we would see pretty okay racing to start off, to be perfectly honest with you. The early portion of this race, Brad Keselowski would dominate the first couple laps in this race, and then Denny Hamlin would be able to make the pass, and he would dominate the next portion of the race up until the competition yellow of this event. We would then go back racing lap 37. Denny Hamlin, who was leader time when it came down pit road, he would lose a few spots on pit road, and the guy that would assume the race lead at this time will once again be Brad Keselowski. And then Ryan Blaney showed a lot of speed early in the day. He's kind of had a bad start to the year in 2021. He showed a lot of speed early in the event. He would actually catch up to Brad Keselowski, and he would make the pass here going into the next one. And then the next caution this race would come out for Alex Bowman spinning. Ross Chastain kind of checked up. There was an accordion effect. He would end up getting a Bowman. We end up getting spun out by Austin Dillon, and that would hurt his opportunity of running really well today. Bowman's starting to charge up to the front a little bit. He's not really had a great start of the year, to be honest with you. But he's not fantastic here at Phoenix, but he really had nothing he could do. Chastain kind of checked up, and it's just accordion effect, and that would cause the first major incident in the race. We would then go back racing on lap 52 this event, and then we would see green flag racing to the end of stage number 1. Ryan Blaney would hold off hard chargers, Joey Logano, and I think Brad Keselowski as well, and he would win stage 1 here at Phoenix International Speedway. We would then go back racing here at Phoenix National Speedway on lap number 79, actually on lap number 84 of the event, and we see a lot of green flag racing in this event. We see about 10 more laps of green flag racing, and then the next caution would come out around lap 90. I don't know what happened between Cody Ware and Anthony Alfredo, to be quite honest with you, because it was a really weird incident. I don't know if there was history between the two from previous in this race, but Cody Ware kind of, in my opinion, got into the back of Anthony Alfredo, and it got him back in the outside wall, and both their cars were destroyed. Cody Ware was definitely not happy. I mean, I don't blame Cody Ware for being upset. He was on a lead lap and running pretty decent for a Rick Ware racing car. But man, it looked like it was kind of Cody Ware's fault, but I really don't know the story of it because we didn't really get good camera angles from that race crash. But yeah, both drivers would end up, who were not having great days, would end up falling out of this race, unfortunately, because of that incident. And then we go back green on lap number 99 of this event, and we would say green actually, and we would have green flag pit stops in this event. Joey Logano would assume control of the next major point of this race, and Kyle Larson, who had to start at the rear, he actually had a speeding penalty from the first one. On the green flag pit stops, Kyle Larson, who was running second at the time, he actually had a speeding penalty, and he would rebound, but he would have a speeding penalty, and this would hurt his chance of winning this race. Kyle Busch would also get a penalty in this race for having an uncontrolled tire. He actually almost didn't get scored. NASCAR almost did not score him because he had the uncontrolled tire penalty. That would hurt Kyle Busch's chances more than Kyle Larson. Kyle Busch really wasn't now having a great day overall to be going from the beginning of the race, but Kyle Busch was definitely struggling through, and that would hurt his opportunity of winning this race. We would then go back we would say green for the rest of the stage, and Joey Logano would come off the final corner, and he would win stage 2 here at Phoenix International Speedway. We then go back racing a lap 200 of this race. We say green for the next major point of this race, and then we actually have green flag pit stops as well. Joey Logano with this back at the green, guys, dominated a majority of this race up to this point. And then Truex Jr. on speed alone, who had a really fast car coming to the end of stage 2, his car really came in as the longer run went in, and he actually would take the race lead and dominate the next portion of this race. We would stay green for a while, and then with around 53 laps go after all the pit stops and had cycled through and everything like that, Martin Truex Jr. would have the race lead, and Kyle Busch would get in the outside wall, and Tyler Reddick would also get in the outside wall, and that would bring out the caution in this race with around 53 laps to go. And this would change the complexion of this race because Martin Truex Jr. was basically cruising the victory lane, and then that would end up his opportunity. And then Mike Wheeler and Bubba Wallace decided to make it not the best strategy, in my honest opinion. Bubba Wallace, who was having a fantastic run, I think he's running 7th at the time when he decided to stay out. They decided to stay out, which I thought that was a really bad decision, in my opinion. Yes, they only had 7 green flag laps on the tires, but tires matter a lot. So I really understand what Mike Wheeler was thinking right there, and that would hurt Bubba Wallace's chances because Joey Logano on this ensuing restart, he actually would end up taking the race lead, and he would dominate the next portion of this race. Actually, Brad Keselowski would take the race lead, and then they would be battling back and forth between him and Brad Keselowski. And then the final pass before the next caution would come out with around 30 laps to go of this event. The final caution race would actually come out for an incident between Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain. It looked like Ross Chastain kind of checked up a little bit. I think Ross Chastain got into Kyle Busch a little bit because I think Kyle got a little bit loose and slowed up there, and Ross Chastain got in the back end. Nobody's fault, in my opinion, just a racing deal. But that would be the final caution of this race. And you could decide right there if you want to take your last set of tires because there is potentially could be a late caution in this event, or you could stay out. Or you can stay out basically and try to strategize and sport. But everyone decided to come down pit road, and this would kill Bubba Walsh's chances, who was really, really having a good run overall. This would kill his chances. We would go back racing with around 25 laps to go in this event, and Mark Truex Jr. was shoot off a cannon, have a fantastic restart, and he was able to take the race lead and shoot off and dominate the next portion of this race. Now, with around 15 laps to go in this event, there was an incident between Cole Custer and Bubba Wallace. Cole Custer kind of checked up a little bit as well, but Bubba Wallace, he actually just ran into the back of him too. And this was basically screw Cole Custer out of a decent run and hurt Bubba Wallace's chances. Now, Bubba should not have been back there regardless, but because of the crew chief stupidity, but I digress. Anyway, this would basically, there would be debris on the racetrack, and I'm surprised NASCAR did not throw the caution because they've thrown cautions for things stupider than that. But they would not end up throwing a caution in this race. And then Mark Truex Jr. had to hold off a hard-charging, not a hard-charging Joey Logano, but he would end up pulling away and dominating the final few laps. And Mark Truex Jr. comes off the final corner, and he becomes the 5th different winner to win in 2021, and he wins your race here at Phoenix International Speedway. This is the first win for Mark Truex Jr. in 2021. First win a lot quicker. I think he and James Small are definitely gelling. Mark Truex Jr. has showed speed early in this year up to this point, and they had a really fast long run car in today. That's why I thought Mark Truex Jr. was really in the capper seat at the end of this race, and in my opinion, he deserves to win. Congratulations to Mark Truex Jr. on winning his first race in 2021, and now not 100% locking himself in the playoffs, but becoming the 5th driver to put themselves in potentially a playoff position. So anyway, let's go ahead and go through the race results of this event, and I'll give you a score of today's event. Mark Truex Jr. wins today's race. He finished his first. Second place goes to Joey Logano. Joey Logano had the dominant car majority of this race, but the car kind of fell off in the second half of the event. He was able to get the lead late in the event, but he really never had an opportunity once the restart happened. Once Truex got a really great restart, Joey Logano would finish second in this race. Third place for Denny Hamlin. Solid run for Denny Hamlin. He led early in this race, but kind of never got back up to the front. But gets a third place run. Solid run for Denny Hamlin. Brad Keselowski has a really great run and finishes 4th. Again, a really strong run for Brad Keselowski. He's been really consistent to start this year. Arguably been the best driver so far in 2021 when it comes to consistency. Congratulations on a strong run for Brad Keselowski. Chase Elliott, despite having a speeding penalty with around 100 laps to go, he bounces back to a top 5 run. Chase probably had a 5th or 6th place car most of the day, but he had to bounce back from a couple times before the race even started, and then the 100-lap speeding penalty he got on the pit stop, that would hurt his chances of contending for the win. But Chase Elliott gets a 5th place run. He's actually my pick coming in this race. 5th place finish for Chase. Not a bad run for Chase Elliott if I say so myself. Kevin Harvick finished at 6th. Kevin Harvick, man, I thought, Kevin Harvick's not as good as he used to be at Phoenix International Speedway. His is about the best where he ran all day. He really ran between like the 6th to 11th place. Had times where he's in the top 5, but mainly was like a 6th to 10th place car most of the day. I don't know if Kevin Harvick's starting to fall off here at certain races, but Kevin Harvick, man, is definitely struggling here. He finished at 6th. Kyle Larson finished at 7th. That last pit stop basically cost him, and the fact that there was not a long run at the end of this race where he could have finished up there really, really screwed him, and then the 2 speeding penalties. But again, another solid top 10 run. Guys, Kyle Larson is really, really good right now. I think a lot of people should be afraid of him up to right now because even though Kyle Larson finished 7th today, he had a 2nd or 3rd place car a lot of this race and gets a 7th place run. Solid run for Kyle Larson. I think he will continue success here later. William Byron with an 8th place run. Solid run for William Byron, man. 3 of the Hendrick cars getting top 10s. Great run for William Byron. Chris Earl finished his 9th, and Ryan Blaney finished 10th. I don't know what happened to Ryan Blaney's car. He finished 10th, which is not bad, to be honest with you. But I expected Ryan Blaney to be a little bit faster, especially how strong it was early in the race. He's pretty good at Phoenix, but he kind of fell back in the second half. But still, a 10th place run for Ryan Blaney is really not that bad. 11th place goes to Eric Almirola. Not a bad run for Eric Almirola. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with a top 15 and 12th place. Great run for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. today. That team's actually had some decent speed this year, and they look like a decent playoff caliber team right now. They're not like in the playoffs right now, but they've looked really, really strong to start off. Alex Bowman finishes 13th with that really, really nice livery, in my honest opinion. It's a shame that they didn't get a better performance than they did because, man, Alex Bowman has not had a fantastic start to this year, but 13th place is not bad either, to be honest with you. Matt DiBenedetto finishes 14th. Kurt Busch finishes 15th today. 16th place goes to Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace, man, that was like a top 10 car. This is the first time a 2311 has shown speed all of this year, and we're having a fantastic race. And then Mike Wheeler really made a bad call. I just don't know what Mike Wheeler was doing right there because I think Bubba Wallace could have gotten a top 10 today, and that team looked really, really fast. Hopefully they don't make mistakes, but hopefully they can build on from this and continue to show speed here later this year when we go out to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Austin Dillon finished 17th. Chris Buescher finishes 18th. 19th place goes to Ross Chastain, and 20th place goes to Eric Jones. Trackhouse's Daniel Suarez finished 21st. 22nd goes to Chase Briscoe. He was in the top 15. I don't know what happened to him. Michael McDowell finished 23rd. 24th goes to Justin Haley. Kyle Busch finished 25th after his issues in this race. 26th place goes to Ryan Preece. 27th, Corey LaJoie. 28th place goes to Ryan Newman. 29th goes to Tyler Reddick. And finishing 30th today is BJ McLeod. 31st goes to Quinn Houff. 32nd, Cole Cuss finished 31st. Quinn Houff finished 32nd. 33rd place goes to James Davison. 34th place goes to Garrett Smithley. 35th, Josh Blickey. 36th, Cody Ware. 37th, Anthony Alfredo. 30th place and finishing last is Timmy Hill in this race. So let's go ahead and give you my score of today's race. I'm going to be real with all with this one. I thought today's race was okay. It wasn't a terrible race in my honest opinion, but it wasn't a great race in my opinion either. I think the trash at Compound really did not play a factor. I don't know what the difference is between the spring race last year and why they brought so much trash Compound for this weekend. But, man, I think it affected the racing overall. There was definitely good points in this race for sure. You saw people like the faster cars were definitely able to shine this weekend, like the Penske's, the Joe Gibbs Racings, the Hendricks. Those guys were definitely to shine. The top team shine. Even 2311 Racing shine today. But, man, I expect this race to be a little bit better, to be honest with you. This has probably been the second worst race so far of the year up to this point. Again, it wasn't a terrible race so far. It's still been a really good year, in my honest opinion, to start off. But I still thought today's race was not great. Seems like anytime Truex Jr. wins is always like a boring finish to the race or a boring race, to be honest with you. I think today's race is definitely not boring, but it still wasn't a fantastic race. But still, there were good points to the race. I'm going to give today's score of the race here at Phoenix National Speedway. I'm going to give today's race a 7 out of 10, to be honest with you. That's my score for today's race at Phoenix International Speedway. Like I said, there are definitely good points in the race overall. He saw some passes for the lead, and he saw some covers to go throughout the race, and tire strategy was a good thing. But other than really that, I thought that there was quite a few drive points to this race, and I expected it to be a little bit better. But hey, at least the finish kind of played out naturally, and NASCAR didn't throw their BS cautions at the end of the race. So that's something very good to know. So, that is my score for today's race. So, yeah, that is a race review from Phoenix. Next week and coming up this week, we are racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the NASCAR Cup Series, the 6th race of the year. We're headed back to the East Coast. We're headed to the South, as a matter of fact, to race back in the East Coast. Definitely really excited for that. So, anyway, that is going to be for today's race review from Phoenix International Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, notifications so you get me notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Link description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's race from Phoenix International Speedway. What are your thoughts about today's race? Let me know in the comments. So give me the score below of today's race as well. And go ahead and congratulate Truex Jr. on winning today's race in the comments below. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. And I'll see you guys next time. I said Martinsville, didn't I? I meant Phoenix. Anyway, see you guys next time for some more great and awesome NASCAR content. Take care, everybody.